Happy Campus Sustainability Day. My name is Gabriela Bocio, and I'm part of Second Nature, the supporting organization for the American College and University President's Climate Commitment. Inspired by this year's theme of empowering change on campus and in the community, we gathered leaders from across higher education, from senior leadership to staff, faculty, and outside partners. I got a chance to actually sit with these leaders and ask them, what advice do you have for a young person or a student who wants to get involved, make a difference, and be part of the change?
I think higher education has a very important role to play in terms of making society a more sustainable, thriving, living place for all of us. In particular, the experience that I've had in higher ed, I've worked in other sectors. I've worked in the nonprofit sector, I've worked in the private sector, but in higher ed I have found that there's the most room for innovation, the most room for experimentation and creativity. So I think it's the place where we can really make the solutions come to life.
My advice for students who are interested in sustainability is to get involved.
What impact do you want to make? What are your children and grandchildren and those generations coming after you going to have? And think about them, and then think about how you can make an impact that will affect them.
And so I would encourage you to be trained as broadly as you can and try to think about ways the subjects that you're taking can relate to this broader concept of sustainability.
You have to have a systems integration kind of way of thinking. Sometimes our isolated disciplines function as silos, where getting a systems way of understanding climate models, for example, is hard to do.
You know, campuses are living laboratories, and there are a myriad of ways that you can get involved. So raise your hand, get involved, whether it's doing research, whether it's leading the charge on recycling. There are so many ways in which students can get involved.
Just do what you most want to do, and then find the opportunity to connect that up with the sustainability movement.
What's remarkable about sustainability is that it's interdisciplinary. And there are just so many ways that you can come at this issue.
Never think that because you're young and you're just learning and exploring, you don't have that right to be taken seriously. I think that would be the most important advice that I would give to students. Expect that, and if you don't find it, then go somewhere where you do find it.
To have humility as a sustainability practitioner. So that means putting your own ego aside and your own agenda aside, and instead focusing on what the bigger purposes that you're working towards.
I actually believe it's very possible to build your own future, whether you're just volunteering your time initially and showing people what it is that you can bring to the table. Eventually people will say, wow, this person's amazing, and start paying them. So I really encourage internships in particular, but also the idea that people can really build their own futures based on what they care about.
There are ways for us to participate on a daily basis in a non-interventionist way whose totality can make a real and lasting impact. So from my point of view, the students are really the heroes on our college campuses when it comes to sustainability.
There are two things, right? Get started, just go. Pick something and go. And then talk to somebody from not in your lane. Right? Broaden your network, broaden your approach, all of that. And actually I'm going to throw in a third thing, which is number one again, just get started.